From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, good morning, everyone. And you know what? It is the weekend. It's almost here, right? Today is Friday. A lot of you may have outdoor plans today or over the weekend, so you've been hearing about the rain. So let's get you right into it. And before we get started, I want to let you know that today's forecast is a bit on the tricky side. And in fact, the weekend forecast, this storm is doing some weird things, playing tricks with our minds as forecasters. So follow along closely and you'll get a better perspective of what we can expect here, right? So this is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but for those of you that are in a hurry, we are going to go through your forecast, but if you want more detail and a little bit more detail on what's going on, then stick around for a while, all right? So the cooling trend starts today. We've been talking about this all week long. It's been absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures well into the 80s for many of us in the valley, but that's going to change by today. Still nice. I mean, temperature-wise, not bad. You're really going to notice it, though, by the weekend. Chance for showers returns today. Key word here is chance. Chance for isolated thunderstorms today and tomorrow. Again, the key word is chance. Dry and near normal highs through next week. Once we get through the weekend, it's going to be back to drier and mild conditions out there. Look at the high temperatures we saw yesterday afternoon. It was mainly in the low 80s. Look at Oroville, though, about 84 degrees yesterday. 71 degrees for Alturas. I mean, just gorgeous. We almost got up to 80 degrees in Bernie yesterday. 77 degrees out in Weaverville, 76 for Hayfork yesterday, and of course cooler along the coast in the mid-50s. But when we look at today, quite a difference, right? Some of us in the valley may even struggle to get to 70 today. So we'll call it upper 60s to low 70s in the valley. Now notice the word there, chance, for every single neighborhood. I think there's also a chance that some of us could be dry all day long. Best chances for thunderstorms today will be in Modoc County in the eastern mountains, which we'll take a closer look at that here in just a second. All right, here's your neighborhood forecast. And again, to put more context in at least to today's forecast, you need to stick around. But if you're out the door, you want to kind of get an idea what the temperatures will be like. They'll generally be in the low 60s. I'll say this, make sure you've got something to keep you dry just in case. An umbrella in the car, a jacket that's waterproof, because you may run into a stray shower today. All right, but there's a very good chance it'll be dry for you today as well. Again, more details on that a little bit later. 55 Eureka, 55 for Rio Del. There's your 7-day outlook. It's drying out. It's warming up for next week again. And for the North Coast, 59 for Smith River, 54 for Oric, and there's Orleans, about 62 and 66 degrees for Willow Creek. All right, we take you out to Siskiyou County, and there you can see 65 in Happy Camp, 60 in Gazelle, 57 degrees for Weed, and 60 out in Dunsmuir. In your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, temperatures there in the low to mid 60s, 61 for Tule Lake, 65 out in Alturas. There is that chance for a thunderstorm or two today. 63 degrees out in Fall River Mills, 63 for Shingletown. Looks like Doyle about 69 in Paradise, 65 degrees today. All right, here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Yeah, instead of those 80s, we could be looking at temperatures more like the low 70s as you head to the south end of the valley. But as you head north, again, struggling to get out of the 60s. 69 degrees for Redding, 69 degrees for Anderson. I mean, we're splitting hairs. I mean, could we see 70 in Redding? Sure. But we'll call it upper 60s, low 70s. About 70 degrees, give or take. That's kind of the good number here. And then, of course, it dries out as we go to Monday through really all of next week. All right, so here's the big picture. We're going to start with the temperatures. This right here is the big area of low pressure. This is what I've been talking about all week long. Right now, it's to our west, and the positioning of this low is the key to our rain, which we'll get into that here in a second. But this cooler air, not over us yet. That's why our temperatures, even though they've dropped, because this right here is what brought 80s in the valley the last several days. That's moved on out of here. And now we're starting to see that transition with the cooler temperatures. Now, the core of that cooler air, even though it will moderate by the time it gets over us, that's when we see the cooler temperatures. So over the weekend, temperatures in the 55 to 60 degree range. I mean, you're going to notice it. It's going to be significantly cooler out there for Saturday and Sunday. And then that moves out. Now, here's where the long-range forecast models are beginning to diverge a bit. They all agree that yes, early next week, another shot of some cooler air will ride down to the south and east. All right. Now, this particular forecast model is going to keep this cooler air in place. You see how we have this little bit of a trough right here, and it all just kind of stays in place, keeps our temperatures at bay, and generally in the low 70s for the valley for Monday through all of next week. However, if you were to look at the European forecast model, by the middle to latter part of next week, this ridge right here is actually building in a lot stronger than what you see here, which would instead basically bring our temperatures from the low 70s like this is saying, but more like the upper 70s, low 80s by the middle and latter part of next week. So some question marks as we get to the middle and latter part of next week as far as temperatures are concerned, but no question marks as far as that rain is concerned. And so you can see here, when we look at the temperature outlook, you've got the above normal, we're basically in that near to above normal. So again, it's that low 70s, maybe some upper 70s in there later next week. All right, so let's take a look at that 10-day trend. Again, you can see big dip in the temperatures for the valley, and then again, just kind of leveling out. So keep in mind, as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we may see these a little bit higher. We'll see. For now, I'm keeping a low to maybe even some mid-70s for parts of next week. All right, so here's kind of the area of low pressure right here. What I want you to take note, and again, it's exactly where this low pressure system goes that's going to have a big determination really for today as far as the rain is concerned. Feeling pretty confident about the rain for tomorrow, but today, honestly, even though Friday today is closer than Saturday, I'm more confident in tomorrow's rain forecast than today's. I know, sounds crazy, but it has everything to do with this guy right here, all right? You got the spinning area of low pressure, colder air wrapping around it. I mean, this is a classic setup, right? Your classic storm system. You see the spin, you see the cold front that's approaching, all right? So this low pressure system, if you look at it, you see how it's kind of, it looked like it was trying to move in this direction, but look what happens. I want you to watch it closely. See how it kind of starts, and then it starts kind of inching back this way. Now, that's important, because what it's showing is that instead of at this point moving in this direction, as it moves in this direction, our chances for rain for everyone really begin to increase. But if it moves more in this direction, if it moves more to the south and west, then the rain is going to hold off today. So based on what I'm seeing here, again, you have to just look at these little nuances. Look closely. There is that little glitch in the satellite, so it's kind of hard to see. But that's essentially what's happening. It looked like it was going to move more in this direction, and now it looks like it's going to move more towards the south and west. So let's take a look at that in a little bit more detail. This is generally moving down to the south, southeast eventually as we go into the weekend. So let's take a look at this area of low pressure based on this particular forecast model. So you have the main band of rain closest to the area of low pressure. Then you see another band right here. This is the cold front right here. That's got another band of rain. If you notice, there's another little band right here. And this is something I touched on the other day, where we're seeing a band of rain, a dry slot, a band of rain, a dry slot, and then another little band of rain. We're still seeing that trend here. So as this low pressure system dives to the south, here's today. So again, this low pressure system, you see how it's not bringing much rain. Now, I am seeing indication that the coast, very borderline as to whether or not you see rain today. I am seeing this afternoon, best chances for rain, northern Trinity, western Siskiyou County, and then maybe for the Sierra here, but not much anywhere else. Then, this area of low pressure actually takes a complete turn to the east. And now we're seeing that flow around that area of low pressure, and this is a perfect setup for some decent rain coming in for everyone on Saturday, especially as we go through the day. And then you kind of see it shifts down to the south and east. So on Sunday morning, we still have some leftover rain and snow in the mountains. And then as this low pressure system moves out Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, things start to dry out. And then we go through all of next week. We're going to go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, this ridge of high pressure trying to build in. We dry things out for early next week, Monday. And this storm system stays too far to our north to bring us any rain or snow. And we stay dry through all of next week. But it's a matter of just how big this ridge of high pressure gets for next week that will determine just how warm we get as we go through next week. All right, so now I want to show you the more hyper-local futurecast. Two different forecast models I'm going to show you. This is called the HRRR forecast model. It updates every hour based on the current conditions. So every hour, it takes the conditions that we have now and then it makes a new forecast. So it only goes out for the day. So here we are at noon. Look what's happening. At noon, everyone is for the most part dry. A little slot right here in western Siskiyou County. All right, but overall, first half of the day looks fairly dry. Then we take you into about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, 6 o'clock. Remember I was talking about maybe around western, central, northern Trinity County? This model wants to project that and bring that rain, but look at the coast. You see how, again, the rain is mainly off the coast, everyone else still fairly dry? So this particular forecast model, for the most part, keeps most of Northern California dry through the day today. And then it's not until Saturday that we see it move in. So, all right, so let's take a look at our in-house forecast model. I think this is actually doing not a bad job. Let's take you into the noon hour. So look at the coast. Once again, same situation. Rain, borderline on the coast and off the coast. So again, all you have to do is just nudge this a little bit more to the east. What? Now suddenly you've got rain. You nudge it more to the west, now you're dry. So, on the coast, through the morning, be prepared for the potential for a stray sprinkle or a light shower. But I don't anticipate, if you see anything this morning, to be anything heavy for the coast. All right, let's move eastward now. Looks dry for Trinity County through the morning, but you see this little band I was talking about? This may bring a stray sprinkle or a light shower for northern parts of the valley. Redding, Red Bluff, maybe Corning. I mean, again, nudge this a little bit more to the east, you suddenly have rain. That's even if this develops. This looks a little intense, doesn't it? I don't think we're going to quite see that, but there is that potential through the afternoon for the eastern mountains to maybe see a stray thunderstorm. So we got to make sure that you are aware that the potential is there. All right, then we go into 5 p.m. And just like that of the forecast model I just showed you, right, the HRRR, pretty good agreement that later this afternoon, evening, western Siskiyou, northern Trinity could see some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, and maybe a little bit off to the east. But again, you see how it's fairly dry, especially to the east? We're just not seeing much. So we look at the coast. Once again, it's just borderline, right? You bring it a little bit more to the west, what do you have? Dry conditions. A little more to the east, now you're looking at wet conditions. So you get the idea. I don't think overall we're going to see widespread rain today, but some of us are going to see some showers. Best chances for the coast, which would be light today. Maybe a light shower in the valley, but for the most part, probably dry. And then, of course, western Siskiyou and northern Trinity County. That's today. And by the way, snow, 6,000 feet and higher. We're not really concerned about snow today. All right, now let's get you into tonight and tomorrow morning. You see how that flow comes in from the south, and now we have some pretty good widespread rain. And this is pretty good agreement with all the forecast models. So you can see that widespread rain, periods of moderate to heavy rainfall at times. It's to 6 a.m. on Saturday. But look at the drier conditions to the northeast, and not to mention for, say, northern Humboldt and Del Norte County. Could be the case here for tomorrow morning, but then as we go through the afternoon, we kind of see it kind of spread northward. Chances for showers, chances for thunderstorms, snow levels between 5 and 6,000 feet. Could impact some of the higher mountain passes as you head east of I-5. Otherwise, no major travel concerns for your Saturday. Then we go into Saturday afternoon. Chances for showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm kind of kicking into the picture here as well. And then we go into Saturday night, 11 p.m., snow levels now between 4 and 5,000 feet. So, could impact better travel to the east of I-5, maybe parts of, say, Highway 89, just east of Mount Shasta. But looks like a kind of a band of heavier rainfall to the north and west Saturday night. And then Sunday, I think we're going to start the morning off with snow It could get lower than 4,000 feet for a brief period of time on Sunday, but will probably rise through the day on Sunday between 4,000 and 5,000 feet. So El Turris, maybe some snow to start off Sunday morning. Bernie, probably not. That may be kind of a kind of borderline here, but you can see some showers to the north. Then you see how it all kind of shifts southward. So I think through the day on Sunday, chances for rain will start to diminish. Let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center's chance for thunderstorms. This is where we have the best chances for thunderstorms here today, based on the Storm Prediction Center. As I mentioned, I think most of it will be here, but we can't rule out maybe a little bit of isolated activity in the north end of the valley. And then you can see by tomorrow, I don't agree with this. I think this should be a little bit more down to the south. I think it should kind of really encompass this area right here. I think it should come down maybe as far south as even the valley. So we'll see if that changes, but overall, we got chances for thunderstorms. Well, let's take a look at the forecast rain totals. These are going to change as well. I'm thinking about a ½ an inch on average, maybe a little bit more for some of us, once all is said and done through Sunday, okay? And then maybe a little bit more along the coast here, but not as much heading off to the north and to the east, a little bit more out towards Mount Shasta City. All right, you see the big blob of brown there. That's, of course, indicating looking at better chances of seeing below normal rainfall. So, yes, we've got rain coming in the weekend, but long range, yeah, it's drying out. All right, so here's your wave heights. There it is, Saturday. You see how those wave heights are increasing? So no small craft advisories today, but that may change by tomorrow. Here's your marine forecast for your Friday. Southwest winds at 5 knots. Yeah, not a big deal, right? So that's the reason why we don't have any small craft advisories, just of course, the rain showers. And pretty good confidence that it will be raining over the ocean throughout the day today. All right, so we're going to be kind of coolest to the north, warmer to the south, but basically around 70, give or take, in the valley. Temperature is much cooler in the mountains, 50s and 60s there, and mid to upper 50s out along the coast. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, and there you have it for Redding. So again, the wording there, that's what's important. The thing is, you may hear some people say it's going to be dry today, and that very well may be the case. But I just can't in good conscience tell you it's going to be completely dry for everyone. And that's why I'm including that chance in there. So here's the bottom line. Today, when you're out and about, make sure you got an umbrella handy. Make sure you've got, if not an umbrella, maybe a coat with a hood that has a waterproof hood. This isn't just for the valley. This is for everybody, okay? So just make sure you got something to keep you dry, just in case, all right? Otherwise, really, for the most part, I think a lot of us are going to be dry today. Then the showers move in on Saturday for everyone. That's the best chance. And then some showers diminishing through the day on Sunday, drying out and warming up for next week.